chapter 7, entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. And we have read till text 3 so far in the last reading. So we'll continue with the next verse, text number 4. It is mentioned in the Holy Scriptures that anyone who reads even one word of Bhagavad Gita gets unlimited blessings, unlimited mercy of the Supreme Lord. And not only that, that person will not have to take birth again in the cycle of repeated birth and death. So with that, we'll get started with chapter 7, text number 4. Bhumirapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhireva cha ahankara iti yam me bhinna prakritirashtadha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhicharana Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. Purport. The science of God analyzes the constitutional position of God and His diverse energies. Material nature is called Prakriti, or the energy of the Lord in His different Purusha incarnations, expansions. As described in the Narada Pancharatra, one of the Satvata Tantras, Vishnustu Trini Rupani Purushasya Akhyani Atho Viduhu Ekam Tu Mahata Srashtir Dvitiyam Tva Anda Samsthitam Tritiyam Sarvabhutastham Tani Gyatva Vimuchyate. For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansion assumes 3 Vishnus. The first one, Mahavishnu, creates the total material energy known as the Mahatattva. The second, the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, enters into all the universes to create diversities in each of them. The third, Shrodakshai Vishnu, is diffused as the all-pervading Supersoul in all the universes and is known as Paramatma. He is present even within the atoms. Anyone who knows these 3 Vishnus can be liberated from material entanglement. The material world is temporary manifestation of the energies of the Lord. All the activities of the material world are directed by these 3 Vishnu expansions of Lord Krishna. These Purushas are called incarnations. Generally, one who does not know the science of God, Krishna, assumes that this material world is for enjoyment of the living entities, and the living entities are the Purushas, the causes, controllers, and enjoyers of the material energy. According to Bhagavad Gita, this atheistic conclusion is false. In this verse, in the verse under discussion, it is stated that Krishna is the original cause of the material manifestation. Srimad Bhagavatam also confirms this. The ingredients of the material manifestation are separated energies of the Lord. Even the Brahma Jyotir, which is the ultimate goal of the impersonalists, is a spiritual energy manifested in the spiritual sky. There are no spiritual diversities in the Brahma Jyotir as there are in the Vaikuntha lokas. And the impersonalist accepts this Brahma Jyoti as the ultimate eternal goal. The Paramatma manifestation is also a temporary, all-pervasive aspect of the Shrodakshai Vishnu. The Paramatma manifestation is not eternal in the spiritual world, therefore the factual absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He is the complete energetic person and he possesses different separated and internal energies. Hare Krishna, there are a lot of words. I don't want to just keep like reading. So I'll take a pause, and actually there is only one paragraph left, so maybe we can read it. Hare Krishna, Ruby Mataji, Ashish Prabhu have joined. Thank you. Maybe let's complete if Ashish Prabhu, you want to read this paragraph? The last one?
Yes, so actually I'm traveling. There might be some background noise.
Oh,
So
you're
is it
driving?
okay? Is it okay if I pass it on to the next person?
Yeah, I cannot hear you also. So please drive carefully. Don't worry about reading. I think, yeah, when you get home, you can read. Ruby Mataji, you want to read? Or Upendra Prabhu was... Okay, looks like I'll complete this paragraph. In the material energy, the principal manifestations are 8, as above mentioned. Out of these, the first 5 manifestations, namely earth, water, fire, air, and sky, are called the 5 gigantic creations, or the gross creations, within which the 5 sense objects are included. They are the manifestations of the physical sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Material science comprises these 10 items and nothing more. But the other 3 items, namely mind, intelligence, and false ego, are neglected by the materialists. Philosophers who deal with the mental activities are also not perfect in knowledge because they do not know the ultimate source, Krishna, the false ego, I am, and it is mine, which constitute the basic principle of material existence, include 10 sense organs for material activities. Intelligence refers to the total material creation called the Mahat Tattva. Therefore, from the 8 separated energies of the Lord are manifest the 24 elements of the material world, which are the subject matter of the Sankhya atheistic philosophy. They are originally offshoots from Krishna's energies and are separated from him. But the atheistic Sankhya philosophers with a poor fund of knowledge do not know Krishna as the cause of all causes. The subject matter of discussion in the Sankhya philosophy is only the manifestation of the external energy of Krishna as described in the Bhagavad Gita. So, quite a lot of words, is it not? So, let's see how we can digest it into for ease of our understanding. Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhire, which is. So in the previous verse, Krishna spoke about Jnanam Teham Sa Vijnanam. I'm going to tell you about Jnana and Vijnana, phenomenal and numinous, or material and spiritual, both sciences or both knowledge. Yag Jnanam Teham Sa Vijnanam Idam Vakshyami Asheshataha. Nothing else will remain unknown. Yagyatva. And knowing this, Gyatavyam avashishyate, you will understand the complete truth because nothing else will remain known. And this truth, very, very few people understand. Right? That's what Krishna has told in text 3. And now he begins to explain that truth. What is that truth? So Krishna begins to explain first about the creation, the material creation. So, earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are the gross elements, and above them is the uh, mind. So, intelligence. These are the subtle elements. So, as Prabhupada is mentioning that most of the scientific research is primarily based on these five only, and their associated senses like sound, ether, sound, hearing, etc., etc. These are all material elements. These are gross, and here are some subtle elements. Krishna also explains here about the three Purusha avatars. This is Shiro, Mahavishnu, also known as Karanadakshayi Vishnu. Karanadakshayi. Who lies in the causal ocean. Then we have the Garbho Dakashayi, Vishnu. And then we have the Shiro Dakashayi, Vishnu. And Srila Prabhupada also is explaining that the Paramatma aspect is also expansion of the Shirodakshaya Vishnu, as we just read. Right? So the point here is that this verse is important and comes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Those who like can memorize also. Vishnustu trini rupani. Vishnu has three forms. Three. What are the three forms? Purusha, three Purusha avatars. Purusha akhyani atho viduhu. Ekam, first. Two Mahata Srishta. One who is like the is referring to the Mahavishnu or the Karanadakshayi Vishnu, who is the creator. The first one, Mahavishnu, created total material energy. Mahata Srishti, Srashtri. Dvitiyam to Anda Samsthitam. So, what is this Anda? The egg-shaped universe, referring to Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. So, where is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu sitting? Anyone knows? Where is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu sitting? So, from the navel of Shirodakshaya Vishnu, sorry, my bad, not from the navel of Shirodakshaya Vishnu. Actually, this is the egg-shaped. From Shirodakshaya Vishnu, from the pores of his body, unlimited, universe comes. And this dot is like if you magnify this with the magnifying glass, this is this view. And then here, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is lying in this Anda Samsthitam, Dvitiyam to Anda Samsthitam. And from his navel comes Brahmaji. And who creates the next aspect of the other living entities, etc. This is the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu here. Is it making sense, or is it like too complicated? I hope it's adding some. So Dvitiyam to Anda Samsthitam, Tritiyam Sarvabhutastham, Sarvabhuta. He's present in every living being, and that is Paramatma. So the Shirodakshaya Vishnu is diffused as the all-pervading super soul, Paramatma. Tani Yatva Vimuchyate, one who knows this is liberated from material entanglement. So knowing this is important. You may say, why do we care about all this? We certainly care, because if we know this, we'll be liberated from material entanglement. So, because let's say you may have seen some movies at some point in your history, like jail escapes, right? The famous jail, and these are like real stories. Some of them are real stories. How people got out of the jail. Has anyone seen any? Like, I mean, I have seen, maybe I don't remember when, but I remember something like how they. So what was like one thing common, that they knew all the aspects of the jail. Who is a jailkeeper? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the weak points? What are the entry points? What are the exit points, right? They knew everything about it. Hmm? So this is important. We should know where we are and why are we here. We are in this jail. We should know what is the exit. Is there an exit? What is the exit? Who is the jailkeeper? Right? How we can get out of the hands of jailkeeper, right? Devi Esha Guna, this comes in the seventh chapter also. Mamevi prapadyante my, and but one who takes shelter of Krishna, right, then he can get out of the hands of jailkeeper. So actually, it's also like a kind of that movie where we're trying to escape this jail. But to escape this jail, we need to first know about this jail and the jailkeeper and what are their rules and regulations. And mm, uh, so this is the Vishnu's Trini Rupani. So three aspects, three Purusha avatars are shared here, which is very, very important. And Prabhupada also explains that majority of the time, the material scientists and all, they just talk about this. No one talks about this, or maybe very, very little. We're talking about artificial intelligence these days, but we're not talking about what is the purpose of intelligence. Everyone is talking about AI these days, artificial intelligence, but what is the purpose? To write more coding, to write more programs, to make more gadgets, right? What is the purpose of intelligence? The purpose of intelligence is to understand why am I here and how to get out. Why am I suffering? I don't want suffering. I don't want the cycle of birth, old age, disease. I don't want to face the torments of the material world. That is the real purpose of intelligence. And of course, the false ego is even more subtler. So these are the 8 elements as mentioned here, also called as uh, apara shakti. Bhumirapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhireva cha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti ashtadha. What does the word bhinna mean here? Can anyone share some thoughts? What does the bhinna mean?
Different.
Yes, separated energy, my separated prakriti. So Krishna is the supreme Purusha. Prabhupada is mentioning that everyone in this world is thinking, I am the Purusha, right? I am the cause, I am the enjoyer, I am the controller. The living entities are thinking like that. But that is false. So Krishna is a supreme Purusha, and these are his separated energies, or also called as apara shakti, external energy. So there is the inferior energy, and there is this also called material energy, apara shakti, and there is the or here bhinna prakriti, and there is the superior energy, or also called as internal energy as well, and then there is the jiva, who are called the marginal or the tathastha. So it's important to understand the potency before the pastimes. The potency before the pastimes. So we are not against these energies, but the idea, the goal is how we can connect them to Krishna, and that is basically called Yukta Vairagya. Duryodhana wanted the Narayani Sena of Lord Krishna, but Arjuna wanted Krishna. Similarly, Ravana wanted Sita, but without Lord Ram. So there are many people who say, oh, I want a new job, a new house, a new car, a new this, a new that. Basically, it's asking, I want energies of the Lord. These are the separated energies, right? Material energy, whether it's money, estate, gold, etc. These are all forms of earth, water, fire, air, ether, or even opposite sex, right? It's all form of weird because it's primarily based on the external body, which is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, right? So that's all part of trying to get the energy for considering our own self as the Purusha. But when we forget who is real Purusha, then all the problem comes. I, me, mine, and then we forget. So Bhagavad Gita is reminding us who is the real Purusha, what are his energies, how to use them properly for our own good. And if we use them properly, Krishna will be happy and he will bless us with more and more spiritual life and more energy, like Dhruva Maharaj. He was also looking for energies, right? The kingdom, basically land, people, followers. But when he got the darshan of the Lord, he not only got the kingdom, but got the topmost jewel of pure Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts in this text number 4? Anyone has?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I have a confusion. Here it is in the purport. There is mentioned atheistic Sankhya philosophy. So how the Sankhya philosophy become atheistic? Because the Sankhya philosophy means, I'm not sure I'm right or wrong, please correct me. Sankhya's philosophy means the energy of Krishna, external energy of Krishna, right?
Yeah, there are two Sankhya philosophy, but what is primarily, and there was one theistic Kapila Muni, as we read in the Bhagavatam, but there was an atheistic Kapila Rishi who promoted Sankhya philosophy with atheistic ideas. Atheistic ideas means taking God out of the picture. And actually, that's what the whole world wants. There's no God. Material world is made for enjoyment. Yes, look at all these elements. There are a lot of people who promote that. The world is meant to enjoy. You only live once, YOLO, right? Or life is meant to enjoy. Beg, borrow, or steal. Live life king size. Life is only meant to be lived once. This is all, you can say, atheistic propaganda. And there were some rishis also who like Chavan Rishi promoted this atheistic this Kapila Rishi, this Kapila Muni, who was the son of Devahuti, there was Devahuti, Karda Muni and Devahuti, yes. That was good. But later came the atheistic Kapila Muni who promoted atheistic Sankhya ideas. They basically taking Krishna out of the picture. As Prabhupada is mentioning, they're originally the offshoots from Krishna's energies. So the Sankhya philosophy, the theistic Sankhya philosophy is basically the analytical study of matter. Okay, what is the cause of this, right? For example, I'm trying to analyze this analytical. Oh, this is a pen. Okay, this pen is made up of plastic, maybe some metal, maybe there are some liquids in there. Okay, how did this liquids and plastic come into existence? Who put them together? Oh, looks like there was a pen manufacturing machine company. They had some machinery, they used some resources, they used some raw plastic, they used some wood, they use some earth, they use some water, they use some other elements. Okay, but where did they get those elements from? Oh, maybe they got earth from the earth element. They got water from the water element. They got fire. So ultimately, if we get to the root, this is, and then who created these woods? Who created these forests? Who created these oceans, this water? Someone, there must be some creator, right? So you see, it's called even the ascending process, like trying to analyze oneself and then trying to get there. but it's a long way, and it's confusing. People can get to wrong paths also. Oh, all this came from Big Bang, right? That's what is taught in the schools. Okay, so the Big Bang is the real cause. So see, half of the people got, or majority, think it's for the Big Bang, not the big brain of Krishna. So that's the analytical kind of approach. But we follow Avro path, not the ascending, but the descending process of the disciplic succession. In bhakti, Krishna comes first, rest everything follows. In other paths, one's intellect, one's approach, one's analytical ability is this, and they may eventually lead to Krishna, but it's dangerous that many times they don't lead to Krishna because of lack of purity, lack of proper understanding. So bhakti is simple, straightforward.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, very nicely explained, Prabhuji. Actually, this morning I was listening to, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu in Bhakti Vaibhav class. Prabhuji was telling, Sankhya means analysis. So in this, these atheistic people, they only, do analysis, like, when we were in the school or college, like chemicals, right? We do analysis, but actual analysis should lead to the knowledge and the knowledge of bhakti. But they just stop at the analysis and they don't, move forward. That's why, their knowledge is half knowledge and it is not complete, and it is, uh, and that's why, they don't come out of that, knowledge that will lead to bhakti. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice comment. Yes, Ruby Mataji, you had any other thought or comment?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Let's read the next verse, text 5. Anyone would like to read?
Prabhuji, I can.
Sure, please.
Text 5. अपरेयमितस्तो अन्यं प्रकृतिं विधि मे परं जीवभूतं महाबाहो यायदं धरते जगत्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Besides this, O mighty and Arjun, there is another superior energy of mind which compromises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Purport. Here it is clearly mentioned that living entities belong to the superior nature or energy of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Both forms of material nature, namely gross, earth, etc., and the subtle mind, etc., are products of the inferior energy. The living entities who are exploiting these inferior energies for different purposes are the superior energy of the Supreme Lord, and it is due to this energy that the entire material world functions. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy, the living entity. Energies are always controlled by the energetic, and therefore the living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence. They are never equally powerful as unintelligent men think. The distinction between the living entities and the Lord is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:87-30 as follows. अपरामित दुर्वसतानुभर्तो यदि सर्वगतस् तार्हि नासस्यतेति नियमो ध्रुव नेतरथा अज्ञानी च यनमयं तद् अभिमुच्य नियतभावेत् समम् अनुजनतं यत् अमातं मत दुष्टतया. Prabhuji, shall I continue?
Sure, Mataji.
O Supreme Eternal, if the embodied living entities were eternal, all pervading like you, then they would not be under your control. But if the living entities are accepted as minute energies of your lordship, then they are at once subject to your supreme control. Therefore, real liberation entails surrender by the living entities to your control, and that surrender will make them happy. In that constitutional position, only can they be controllers. Therefore, men with limited knowledge who advocate the monistic theory that God and the living entities are equal in all respects are actually guided by a faulty and polluted opinion. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the only controller, and all living entities are controlled by him. These living entities are his superior energy because the quality of their existence is one and the same with the Supreme, but they are never equal to the Lord in quantity of power. While exploiting the gross and subtle inferior energy matter, the superior energy, the living entity, forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence. This forgetfulness is due to influence of matter upon the living entity. But when the living entity becomes free from influence of the illusory material energy, he attains the stage called mukti or liberation. The false ego, under the influence of material illusion, thinks, I am the matter and material acquisitions are mine. His actual position is realized when he is liberated from all material ideas, including the conception of his becoming one in all respects with God. Therefore, one may conclude that the Gita confirms the living entity to be only one of the multi-energies of Krishna. And when this energy is freed from material contamination, it becomes fully Krishna conscious or liberated. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Would anyone like to share any thoughts or share your insights, reflections about this verse? Yeah, anyone can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
here Krishna is telling Arjuna that, there is a more superior energy of mind, and which are actually, the living entities, the jivas. And, of course, because of their nature, some of them are like exploiting it. So that's my understanding.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else has any other thoughts, comments, additions?
So, Prabhuji, this verse explains that sometimes human beings, any human being think like he is the doer, he is doing everything, but he cannot understand that Krishna is the doer and he is the supreme. Um, he he is the superior energy that only due to him everything is happening. लाइक हम जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता उनके सो इट्स लाइक दैट
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So in text 4, Krishna shared about which energies? In text 4, we just read. Aparayam, apara, right? We discussed material energies, right? The 8 material energies primarily. Aparayam itastav anyam. Anyam is apara shakti ita. Besides this, there is like one anya. Anya means another. What? Prakriti vidime para. There is one para. Para means usse upar. There is one superior. So inferior, superior. Jiva bhutam mahabhaho. Oh Arjuna, mahabhaho. Oh mighty armed one. What is that? What is that para prakriti? So there is like, you see the words here, the careful play of words, para and apara. So in text number 4, Krishna explained about Bhumirapo. So in this verse, he is talking about the Parashakti. And what is that Parashakti? This is the Jiva Bhuta, the superior energy comprising the living entities. Yayedam dharyate jagat, who are exploiting the material world, is it not? So these 8 energies which we were talking about, the living entities, and we pretty much see that these days. The main focus is to I don't know, somehow my mouse pointer is missing. Shows Krishna. Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on here.
Yes, Prabhuji, we
Yes,
can hear
Prabhu.
you.
I can't see my mouse pointer to stop sharing screen.
See your mouse moving.
You see the mouse?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Where is it?
You have 2 screens, Prabhuji? Oh yeah, now we can see your screen.
Okay, I can't unshare it anyways. Okay, we'll keep it here. That's fine. We'll manage with this. I want to like do the okay. I can see it's moving, but I can't see where is it moving. Anyways, so sorry.
Actual text. And
Let's see. Okay, sorry for the distraction. So we were okay. Jiva Bhuta Mahabahu Yedam. So this basically this energy or the superior energy, the Parashakti, is exploiting the Parashakti, and that's what we see. The human beings are exploiting These days, so much, no one cares about future. Everyone is exploiting. Let me get the most of the earth's resource. Let me get the most of the money, the most. Who cares about next generations? Who cares about tomorrow? Right? After all, this life is only lived, and meant to enjoy, live once. So, but that's the whole reason for bondage. Prabhupada is mentioning real liberation entails surrender by the living entity to your control, Krishna's control, and that surrender will make them happy. This is what we want, to be happy, and this is the surrender which is going to make everyone happy. Right? That is a sweet surrender. But unfortunately, no one wants to surrender these days. And that's why everyone is suffering, right? Everyone is suffering. So the jiva, this forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity. So we have this layer of matter, and we forget our true spiritual identity, that we are part of Krishna's Parashakti. But we are somehow covered with this material influence, so we forget and therefore we do not take shelter of Krishna. And this busy exploiting the gross and the subtle energies forgets his real spiritual mind. So we have the spiritual mind intelligence, like a pure soul, but somehow forgetting Krishna. Krishna bholi se jivan adir bahir mukh ate maya tare de sansar do. When jiva forgets Krishna, then he gets a lot of dukkha, and that's why everyone is suffering. But those who have taken full shelter, they are mukta. They are Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. They don't have any challenges. They are always happy. And this understanding is required so that we can choose where to put our time, energy, investment. The more we put our time, energy, resources in understanding the spiritual side, our spiritual dimension, which is our true nature, the more we'll be happy. The more we put our time, energy, resources in the material side, exploiting the gross and the subtle material energy, the more we will be suffering. And that's what we see. The more we suffer, is it not? Because it leads to more and more forgetfulness of Krishna. Any other thoughts, comments anyone has in this particular verse, text number 5? So we covered the apara and the para, 4 and 5, material and spiritual, also called as tathastha shakti or the marginal. Any other thoughts, comments, corrections? Okay, let's read the next verse. Text number 6. Anyone would like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, please.
Text 6. Yetadhyonini bhutani sarvaniti upadharaya aham krishnasya jagatah prabhava pralayasthatha. Translation and Bhagavad Gita. All created beings have their source in these two natures, of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. Perfect. Everything that exists is a product of matter and spirit. Spirit is the basic field of creation and matter is created by spirit. Spirit is not created at a certain stage of material development. Rather, this material world is manifested only on the basis of spiritual energy. This material body is developed because spirit is present within matter. A child grows gradually to boyhood and then to manhood because that superior energy, spirit, soul is present. Similarly, the entire cosmic manifestation of the gigantic universe is developed because of the presence of the super soul, Vishnu. Therefore, spirit and matter, which combine to manifest this gigantic universal form, are originally two energies of the Lord. And consequently, the Lord is the original cause of everything. A fragmental part and parcel of the Lord, namely the living entity, may be the cause of a big skyscraper, a big factory, or even a big city, but he cannot be the cause of a big universe. The cause of the big universe is the big soul or the super soul. And Krishna, the supreme, is the cause of both the big and the small souls. Therefore, he is the original cause of all causes. This is confirmed in the Katha Upanishad 2.2.30. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetanam. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Any insights or thoughts you have?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. In this material world, if we achieve something, the small thing, we think we are the doer, but the thing is, we are not the doer of anything. So even the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, like tells about Kshetragna. So Kshetra is the body and the Kshetragna is the soul and super soul. The Kshetragna is supreme soul is the higher because he knows the knowledge of all the Kshetras, all the bodies. So we know only about our body, but that too only to certain extent we know, but we don't know the how the eyes work, how the ears work, how the food is digesting, how the intelligence is growing, how we are getting old. So we don't know many of the things in our body, particularly it's ourselves. But Kshetragna, the super soul, is present in every atom and in everywhere. So because of that, everything is existing. So even in one of the classes, I was hearing that even the sugar granules, it has the super Paramatma. So that's why it is maintaining its taste and its shape. So Lord is present everywhere in this cosmic world. So he is the creator of everything and he is the dissolution of everything. So that's what I understood, Prabhu. So we are tiny, tiny particles of living entity. Even our body, which is material, this is given by Lord, and the soul, Paramatma, is giving that soul also. Lord is giving. So the body is growing because the spirit is there. Otherwise, there is no growth of the body. There is no movement. There is no thinking, feeling, feeling. So everything is happening because on the spiritual, higher spiritual level that is given by Lord Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, I'm trying to find my. Again, sorry for this inconvenience. Can't see my mouse on this. So there is one tiny soul. That's us, right? So the super soul for the body is where? The third Vishnu. This is the super soul for every being. Now Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the super soul of this universe, one universe. And the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is the super soul for the entire creation, the entire material creation. Does that help? For example, even in this tiny frame, we can see that someone can build one house, right? He knows about that house. Okay, where is the bathroom? Where is the bedroom? Where is the kitchen, right? Correct? Because that person built it. He knows the in and out of that tiny kshetra, as Mataji beautifully shared that example. But can any of us tell about all the houses in the city? No, no one can tell. What about this tiny city, the whole world, right? What about the whole world, the whole universe? So there's the the Vishnu or the super soul knows about that. And that's text number 6 we are talking about. Etad yonini bhutani. All these etad, what does etad here mean? These two natures, basically, because he has now explained in text number 4, if you see, he talked about the material energy. And in text number 5, we spoke about the spiritual energy. So now, etad yonini bhutani, all created beings, sarvani upadharaya, everything created is basically a product of these material or spiritual ingredients. I am both the origin and the dissolution. Prabhava pralayastatha. Prabhava means creation or manifestation. In pralaya, so as we know, the ultimate cause is Krishna, and the annihilation at the time of universal annihilation or the partial dissolution, he annihilates, but basically everything goes back to the Mahatattva, or ultimately back to the Mahavishnu. So the dissolution of two types. So in short, Krishna is the cause, the Supreme Soul is the cause of the big and the small souls. Or in short, everything. So he's clearly iterating the point, ultimately, again and again, that all of these, one who knows about the energies of Krishna can know about the Supreme Lord eventually. Or basically, try to see the hand of God in every aspect. And that's what Krishna is going to talk from text number 8 onwards. How we can see the hand of God, right? That's what he's like right now talking about some broader things, or Krishna is an expert in every aspect. So right now he's talking about some broader aspects, right? The broad energies, earth, water, fire, right? The jivas. Now he will talk about the later intelligence of the intelligent, right? The fire, and the taste of water and the smell of the earth, right? So basically, how to learn to see God's hand, Krishna's hand in every, because everything we discuss, etad yonini bhutani, sarvani upadharya, aham krishnasya jagata, all inclusive, right? This entire world is a product of material or spiritual energies. And Krishna is saying, Prabhava pralayas tatha, I am the cause, I am the annihilation. So how can we see anything? Pure devotees don't see anything besides Krishna. Sthavara jangama na dekhi tara murti, sarvatra hoy ishta deva spurti. So Krishna is first here talking like material, spiritual, these two broad, and then he'll go into the specifics and the strength of these powerful and the intelligence of the intelligent and this and that, etc. In chapter 7, he talks about it. Again, in chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, also he talks about that. A lot of emphasis is given as one of the main 5 topics of the Bhagavad Gita, right? The Jiva, the material energy, and Paramatma, right? So all these are covered. Even time is covered. Any other thoughts, comments? We can also take maybe 1 or 2 questions. My friend Ashish has also joined from India. I hope you're back to home now. Shilpa Mataji also has joined. Let's take some thoughts or some questions, either from these topics or any other topics as well. We can share some thoughts or question answers. Ashish Prabhu still driving, but yeah, if anyone has any questions, any thoughts.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Pranam. So, Prabhuji, when we say like everything is done by Krishna, the creation, maintainer, and destroyer, but in the other words also we say like Trimurtis, like Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. So, how can we understand that, Prabhu? in a detail to explain to other people. Generally, they other non like ISKCON devotees, they have this conception that creator is the Brahma and Vishnu maintains and Lord Shiva destroys. So how can we explain that?
Yes, it's a very good question, thoughtful question. Imagine a big company. A big company. The owner may have 20, 30 different businesses in different parts of the globe, in different big cities, New York, Chicago, Bombay, London and Melbourne and whatnot. He has his business. Now, what do we expect as a layman? What do we expect? Now he's opening a new site. He's opening a new business in Italy. What do we expect? Will he be going over there, putting every brick? Or will he be going and making sure every computer connection is wired up? Or will he be going over there buying some files for his office or some cabinet or some furniture and assembling that? Certainly not, right? We don't expect that. What he might be in Switzerland, maybe doing some, golf in some resort. Or maybe he must be in some farmhouse playing with his friends and playing with his family and children and grandchildren and whatnot. Once in a while, he may go to, to his headquarters and say, hey, everything okay? Yeah, everything okay. Okay, keep working. Good job. Right? That's Krishna. He's the owner. Once in a while, he comes, gives gives some instructions to Indra. Hey, don't feel too proud. Ultimately, you're working for me, okay? Don't think that you are like Govardhan Leela. Once in a while, he kind of reprimands Brahma. Hey, what do you think? You are the Brahma? They're like, look at the millions of Brahmas are here, right? So once in a while, he does that, But ultimately, all the time, he's what? He's busy in his pastimes. Nitya Leelas, playing with his friends, playing with the gopis, playing with his mother, father, stealing butter is Nitya Leela. He's always busy. He is not busy putting the bricks in the construction or putting, hey, why this material is getting delayed. So all the CEOs, the CFOs, the C-suite, right? They're all working. And then they have sub layers, managers, senior managers, directors, and whatnot, right? So this 33 crore Devi Devta, Brahma and others, etc., they are working under his direction. Maya adhyakshina prakriti suyati sacharacharam. इच्छान रूपेण यस्य बिबनानि durga, right? जो उसकी इच्छा से चलती है. He just desires. He just like thought. He doesn't have to physically go and put every brick or every piece of glass. That's so we can explain in layman terms. Yes, Brahmaji is the secondary creator. We all agree. But who is the father of the father of the father of Brahma, right? Ultimately, Brahmaji himself is saying, if we read Canto 10, chapter 14, his prayers of Lord Brahma, how he is saying, right? We recently read the word Keshava in the Ka means what is the word Ka? Ka means Brahma. Isha means Shiva. And Vaya means the controller. So one who is the controller of Brahma and Shiva is Keshava. So there are so many verses, and even Lord Shiva says so many that times that my worshipable is Lord Krishna. So, but depending upon the situation, we can use either examples or either verses. But this is a very simple and layman example that the owner is not personally now sometimes the frontline workers, if the site, let's say someone is the in charge for New York site, right? Who is working under this owner who has 30 different cities or businesses, but this current CEO of that site, everyone will think what? Oh, he's our boss. He takes the big decisions. He does everything. Everyone is, when he comes, everyone is alert. Correct? And that's correct. But those common layman workers, frontline workers, they may not even know who is the name of the owner. But once in a blue moon, the owner comes, and then he sees this. Even the CEO is with folded hands and running after him, this and that. And then they may ask, "Oh, who is that? Oh, he's my boss." And that's what Narad Muni exactly has in chapter, I think, 2 or 3 of the canto 2 or 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Brahma, looks like you are doing everything. Looks like everything is running under your direction. You are so intelligent. Your body is made up of intelligence. You are so amazing. Oh my God. Left and right, like he's glorifying, Narad Muni glorifying, because that's what it seems. Brahma says, okay, hold on. See, then Brahma is also a pure devotee. Now, he is not going to accept credit for what does not belong to him. He says, no, Baba. It may seem like that because I have an important seva, but my master is Krishna. He is himself saying it to Narada, who is his child. So, does that help?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. And one more thing is, for every universe, we have a Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and we have one Brahma, as Brahma Samhita mentions that time. Brahma Vimohan Leela. So each universe has different kinds, number of heads of Brahma. So like that, in each universe has a different Shiva also, Prabhu, for the dissolution, how you mentioned is different branches has different things, like employment kind of thing. So is that mentioned anywhere, Prabhu, like that?
The expansions are certainly there because Shiva ultimately there's the Adi, what's that called? Adi Shiva, or the primeval, that is like
Sadashiva.
Sadashiva, sorry, good. Thank you. So Sadashiva, and then his expansions are there, like the expansions of Mahavishnu as Shirodakshai Vishnus. They're also Vishnu, right? But there is expansion. So Lord Shiva also expands in that aspect.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, so Shilpa Mataji raised her hand for some thought or.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam devotees. Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji, for asking that question, and Prabhuji so detailedly explained. Prabhuji, my question was probably already answered, but just curious. In this text, Krishna is telling only or referring only to the existence and non-existence of the soul, right, Prabhuji? Not, I mean, to say create manifestation, maintenance also, but then within the maintenance, it would be even more detailed, like the Jivatma also uses its free will. Finally, sanctioning cause is Krishna, but then Jivatma's free will also will be. So in this text, should we go that deep, or is my understanding wrong? Please correct.
No, there are many other verses where he mentions that he is not just the creator or destroyer, but also the maintainer. Some people, use the acronym of this word God as generator, operator, and destroyer. It's not the best way of defining God, but it's one of the ways, right? Like, but there is much more higher understandings. But he is the cause, right? He is the sustainer. Maya adhyakshena prakriti. He will say that in the upcoming verses, right? Suyate sacharacharam. I'm not sure where that comes. Where that verse comes? Hetunanina kanteya jagat ke parivartate. So basically he says that, right? That it works under my direction. Even the modes, he will say. All the modes, right? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, it's going to come again in the later parts. They are working under my direction. So No, your understanding is correct that yes, in this verse he is referring to the creation and the destruction, but also the maintenance is certainly he is very much responsible. Now you may not, like as we discussed, it's not that he's like micromanaging everyone. Again, it's working just by his desire. And then the Durga Devi and the demigods and Lord Shiva and different other in charges are just monitoring that show based on our desires, karma, and a lot of other factors.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Anyone has any other thoughts, comments to add or? Okay, so I guess we'll pause here and continue tomorrow with the next Bhagavad Gita Upanishad. की जय जगद्गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Thank you again. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji. Very good.